If your son came to you and said, Mom, I'm going to marry a sex worker, what would your advice to him be? Follow your dreams, my son?
Like if a man is paying for a first date.
What does the, okay, yeah.
You know, that is showing her, if she is waiting, she wants a man that's going to be able to provide, okay, little things that are shown there.
Okay, so men are typically expected to make the first move, approach, initiate, set up the date, plan the date, handle the logistics, pay for the date, go for the first kiss, move things forward from there. Physically,
that's a masculine man, someone who's
okay,
firm in themselves,
leading,
pursuing.
being dominant, masculine. So that's what's expected very early and upfront from the man. So if that's kind of what men are expected to do, then what are women expected to do early on in the courtship process?
I would say respect them, show them feminine intentions, and just be a feminine woman. You know, loyalty if you are exclusive talking to that person.
Can you give me examples of that?
Like if a man is putting in this much effort to go and see you, you know, you're going to do your hair, you're going to look nice, you're going to give him attention, you're going to allow him to be a masculine man. You know, if he's opening up your door for you, if he's going to offer to pick you up, you know, so there's little things we can do,
Brian,
like coffee or something.
You being a man,
but
do you care about any of those things?
What things?
The things that she's just mentioned.
Like if you want a feminine woman, and I'll use the word like biblically, right? You know, in marriage, a woman will submit to her husband's authority because her husband is submitting to Christ and is leading the household. So you're trusting that they are going to lead you in the future. So as a woman, when you're going on a date, you know, it's not an interview. You're just getting to know that person, and you are appreciative and thankful for them, you know, being the leader and showing that masculine energy. And you there are being feminine and showing your feminine qualities because it is an equal balanced unit that will become one in the future.
It just feels like a bamboozle. Oh, okay, you previously slept with your past 10 sexual partners
But you're
on
not
the
going to
first
take every
date.
girl out on a first date, you know? Like if you intentionally are looking to date someone, you'll take them on a date.
I think it's better to wait for a man as well. Like then you can like have a more intense bond with her anyway, or else it's better for you guys, I think, as well. That would be.
I understand what you're saying though. Like yes, if a woman is
It's
sleeping,
a raw deal. It's a raw deal. I think it's a raw deal. Oh, okay. A month ago, you just had a one-night stand. You were on some cruise or
a month
traveling.
ago to a first date. Understandable, but if you're talking like a woman who is like, you know what, I have committed my life.
You've been celibate for 3 years, maybe you get a bit of a pass. If you've been celibate for 3 years and then you want to wait, fine. But don't pull this game of like, oh, I want to wait 3 months, but then you f***ed a guy last week. That's the issue I have with it. It's being consistent in your values. I don't know. Andrew, you got anything for this?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I wouldn't mind engaging a bit on this topic with you. So, not you, Brian, sorry.
Okay.
Actually, he has a point. So to speak to his actual point with no deflection at all, what would the TPUSA position on this actually be? Would the TPUSA position on this be that if a guy does end up, dating a chick who was very promiscuous just a month before, and she has suddenly turned to Christ in her 30s, of course, that he should date her? That he should wait? I mean, what is the prescription here, do you think?
Well,
if you're going to be charitable to Brian's view.
No, I actually agree with Brian when it comes to if somebody had been promiscuous for months prior and then all of a sudden has decided, okay, you know, today's the day I'm going to go on a date and I'm going to save myself. I think there's a lot more work that goes into that than just 1 week of hooking up with someone and then all of a sudden the week later you want to go on a date and be with someone. Like there's a lot of steps that we're missing here. So of course, if a woman has slept with, 10 men or however many and then is now going on a first date a week later or a month later, I do think that's a little early. Personally, I do think that's a little early to be like, okay, now I want to wait. I think as a woman, you would need to honestly reevaluate yourself and not date for a little bit and figure that out.
Yeah, from the man's perspective, that should be a massive red flag, right?
Right. No.
Like you would say
you're valid.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. No. It's a red flag.
I don't even understand what your argument with Brian is about then, because that's what he's saying. That's literally all the guy is saying is, how is this not a red flag that you decided? Oh, look, I finally found Jesus, right? As you tend to see many of the stars, even who come through this show, who suddenly find Jesus. They continue to do, interestingly enough, but they claim that they did anyway. Are we supposed to give or excuse their past 100 sex partners just because now they have and claim that they found salvation?
No, that 100% is a factor.
Would you consider that a massive red flag?
No, it's a 100% a red flag. 100%. It's a lack of judgment, and I do believe that Jesus Christ does save us for our sins, but I don't think it's going to be an overnight switch of one day you're like the day you become saved, the next day all of a sudden clean slate. Well, it is a clean slate, but it's not like the next day you're going to jump into a relationship. I mean, this is a years and years long process. So if somebody has decided to save themselves, like let's say 5 years later, and then you become into a monogamous relationship, let's say you're an ex or whatever it is. But no, I'm not disagreeing with Brian if looking at the timelines of a 1 week to a month. Like, no, that's very reasonable. And
well, then I guess you're going to have to look at Brian and say, Brian, you were right.
You're right under...
Yeah.
I'll give you 2 years. I'll give you 2 years. If
2 years.
if a woman has waited 2 to 3 years and has not engaged and has truly dedicated her life to her new self, then different scenario. But I will give you you're right with the red flag. I was agreeing with that.
Is that a checkmate? Checkmate? No.
Checkmate.
Well, statistically, I guess.
Statistically,
No,
what are the
not
statistics
okay.
on this? But go ahead.
Well, statistically, if you're looking at like her history of like past hookups and
Yeah.
dating, and then she claims she seeks salvation, it's something to like. I feel like something to look into, but at the same time, according to like if we're getting into religious purposes, like we cannot cast stones at the person. Like let the.
Would you date a guy who's shorter than you?
Would I date a guy? I'm not sure actually.
Grid 1 Motorsports donated $100. To skew this, as a man whore until I was 32, when I dated with intent to marry and met my wife within the first year. We had sex the first night and have not been apart since. When you know, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak from my own personal experience. Also, Grid 1, I mean, I've had a 5-year relationship, 2-year relationship. I've had other long-term, I've had a 9-month, 1-year relationship. Most of these were not like, let's go on dates for 3 months and then finally have, no, we had sex relatively quickly, second, third date. And yeah, so thank you, Good One, for that anecdote. Wait, so you're saying something about,
saying
well,
how, like-
considering a woman's past promiscuity is casting stones,
No,
and you're not
casting
allowed.
stones. I'm saying it's like you can take it into account, but I'm saying like let he who is blameless cast the next stone, which
What?
it's biblical. Yeah.
But so
I'm
what's
saying
your point?
I'm saying.
Are you suggesting
that-
men should not consider women who've slept
No.
with 100 men previously as suboptimal partners?
No, I'm not saying that they can consider whoever they want, however they want. I'm saying like to judge them openly, verbally is like.
Well, they're not going to throw a stone. Can they take their stones and go home?
Yeah.
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 100%.
So then that's
Because that
all
man's
that's
not-
all he's saying, right?
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm arguing. I'm not gonna like have a laugh and be like, oh, you fucking slut. No, it's just to me, it's like me advising other men, don't date those kinds of women. And for me personally, I would not date that kind of woman.
And that's totally
And
fine.
that's fair.
That's the
That's
extent.
totally
That's
valid.
the extent of my commentary.
Oh,
yeah, that's
that's
totally
100%
fine.
valid.
I don't make it a mission to go out of my way and be like, look at this particular woman who's a slut. I don't do that. Now, in my own assessment, I'm of course thinking, well, I don't think this would be a good person to date, but that's really the extent of it. I'm not going to go on the offensive and be belligerent and attack you for it, but I will advise other men, this is a suboptimal dating choice, dating move, and for me personally, I wouldn't be
No,
about it.
that's
That's
totally
valid.
fair. That's totally fair.
Valid. What are you doing? What the what was that?
I have ADHD. I'm sorry. So
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. But look, I mean, I think it's wonderful if women are choosing to move in less promiscuous ways. If you try to prioritize long-term relationships, I think that's great. But do realize, even if you do make that proactive choice to change up the way you move, that men are still going to consider perhaps your past actions and behavior, and even though you've changed, still preclude you from wanting to pursue you for a serious relationship or any kind of relationship. And in that scenario, though, I can just tell, I'm just sort of explaining the guy's perspective here of, well, because for example, I'm not going to expose her, but we had a Christian girl come on the show, and she said multiple times that she was waiting for marriage. I think she'd been on the show twice, and then she came back on the show, and she said, well, I'm waiting till marriage to have sex. She came back on the show, and I give her credit for at least admitting this. She said, I had a slip up. I had sex with somebody. And then it would be very frustrating for me, for example, if I had been dating her in between that time, but she was like, oh, I'm gonna wait. And then I find out like a week after we break up, for example, after I dated you for 3 months, and despite, my desires to have sex, you're like, no, I respected it. And then as soon as we break up, you go and another guy, I would, look,
That's tough.
that's your prerogative, but I'd be like, well, did you really think that? Were those really your values? And then similarly, if I was about to pursue a woman who said,
Basts donated $100. You guys are missing the issue here. It's not about being Christian now, it's that withholding sex is a tool of manipulation. Chad gets the cheeks up front. Good guy has to wait for seconds.
No, which I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think women should use sex as a tool for manipulation. 100%. A woman shouldn't withhold sex within marriage, personally.
Yeah.
But
Well, he's even talking before that.
before,
but-
if you're going on dates.
Well, they're using it for compliance or leverage to secure a long-term relationship or to secure monogamy.
I don't think it's worth it.
What do you mean, for the guy or
No, well, either way, I don't think you should sleep together
Oh.
before. But
Okay, sure. I'm trying to remember what I was saying. Oh, and just the last thing, I would also kind of feel like getting a bit of a raw deal if I just met a girl and she told me that a month ago she had a one-night stand with a guy, but now that she's met me, oh, okay, I'm waiting until marriage. I'd be like, my dude, a month ago you some dude in a club. Like, that's ridiculous. Good for you, but I feel like I'm getting a raw deal here, so goodbye. Like, it's not me feeling entitled to anything. It's me like, okay, I feel like a sucker in this situation, so this isn't a fit. So
Would there be like nothing else you were getting from the relationship?
What do you
Like,
mean?
Besides that?
What do you mean?
Because normally, like when you consider a relationship, you consider like multiple parts of it, not just the sexual end. Like, what if?
Sure. You can obviously, women offer a great deal outside of sex.
What if there was something else that you like found in her, like another quality that you liked?
She'd basically have to be a slave for me to accept this very suboptimal scenario where I'm essentially a sucker for a month ago, because this is the scenario I gave. A month ago, she had a one-night stand with some dude, and now she's telling me she wants to wait 3 months, 6 months, or until marriage to have sex. She's gonna have to basically be a slave for me. She's got to clean my house and shit. She's got to vacuum. She's got to do some Mr. Miyagi shit, paint the fence, wax my car and shit.
In this suboptimal scenario,
Yeah.
yes, I understand where you're coming from.
I also
Chores.
don't think any sane woman who
Would-
wants to
Right.
date you would say, oh, hey, by the way, I just got banged 2 weeks ago, but I want to wait with you. Any sane woman will not tell you that. So this is a far out hypothetical that probably
she
will
might.
never
I
happen.
would hope she
And
would
if
be honest.
It's not about honesty. It's about like just, again, y'all are going to love me for this discretion, right? You don't need to know anything
I do
about
need to
what
know.
I did 2 weeks ago.
I
You
do
don't
need to know.
about the date
I
had
do
2
need to
weeks
know.
ago.
I do need to know.
Why do you need to know?
Because if I find out, let's say we get engaged and you fucking lied to me about that shit,
Okay.
it's fucking over. Goodbye.
Okay,
I don't care.
but this
I don't
is
care if the
so
wedding is fucking
out.
planned.
Okay.
And if you should never you shouldn't lie to a guy like that. What are you doing?
She's just helping.
Wait, was there a slip? Was there a slip?
No, she's just looking out. I don't.
Okay. Was there?
I didn't
Nick?
see it as well, so I'm just making sure.
Okay. So what?
I know. I think I'm just having fun. So I think it's a really far out hypothetical situation that no woman's going to go on a date with you and then tell you that they did something 2 weeks ago. And if she wants to wait for 3 months, then like yeah, it's a shitty situation. That's your choice to pursue that or not. So.
Well, the thing is like, I assume on this first date there would be some conversation about, where our values align or don't align when it comes to the rapidity with which we would. I'm framing this in. When it comes to, do you want to have sex? Do you want to wait? Not exactly in those words. And so if on that date she says, well, I'm waiting till marriage, but in like the scenario you gave 2 weeks ago, she some dude. That would be.
I'd find that interesting.
It would suck. That would be like, okay, cool, like that's not really in alignment with what you just told me. And then that's your choice to pursue that or not. And that's what she was saying, is it takes time to kind of make those changes. And you have to also, and like that girl who said she had a slip up, it takes time to implement these changes and these choices and these habits.
So yeah, but you're okay. So is your advice then to you ought to omit or lie to men and not reveal?
No, that's not my advice. My stance
What you
is
said-
it's so hypothetical and it's so far fetched that like most
Okay.
girls won't say that.
Here's an example, right? If I'm actually interested in a girl, one of the questions I might ask her when first meeting her and screening her out is, when's the last time you've had, the phrasing might change.
So
When's-
vulgar. When did you get banged last?
No, I said, when's the last time you've had sex with someone? That's a question I might ask, because I want to know. You fucked a guy last week, not interested.
Yeah, and that's your choice, and that's okay.
Right, but so would you recommend a woman in that situation to lie?
No. No,
Okay.
she needs to say like, okay, you know, like she needs to be forthcoming. I'm not saying you need to lie. I'm just saying like most women wouldn't have that kind of switch up or would say that.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, then wouldn't it be wiser advice then to say that if this is something which is new to you, if you've just made
You
this
should
switch over in
wait.
your life, that you should ease off of dating for a while
I agree. I
Absolutely.
wholeheartedly agree with that. Yeah, you should wait.
If that becomes untied, is it like
No,
gonna-
it won't untie. It's just I got
Okay. I'm
animated
just-
when I was talking to you, and she was just like,
Okay,
calm, so.
let's just, if you can, just be cautious of that.
I will, I will.
Okay, so, well, why don't we, what do you rate yourself on the wife scale? 1 out of
Wait,
1 to
what
10?
is a wife scale?
Like, are you wife
Are you wifey
material?
material?
On a scale of 1 to 10, that's what he wants. So we'll go around the table really quick on this. Go ahead.
Wife scale, yes, absolutely. I have full capabilities of becoming a wife.
So,
Oh no.
I mean, you are correct me if I'm wrong, you are a sex worker, right?
Yeah.
Currently.
Why would you think that you would make a good wife?
Just because I have a certain profession does not take away from my ability to care, love, and provide something that my partner is seeking. So, I
Well,
mean,
the science would disagree. Have you ever heard of a phenomenon called pair bonding?
no, tell me.
Are you aware that the less sexual partners a woman has, the easier it is and the more likely it is that she can pair bond with her first sexual partner?
Okay, but that doesn't mean that I can't bond with my person now.
Well, it's true. You could be the exception to the rule, but wouldn't it throw up a red flag if it was known that the more sexual partners a woman had, the less likely it would be that
I think
that
it
she
all
would actually be able to bond with you? For instance, the more men you sleep with, the more likely you are to be divorced. For instance, the more men you sleep with, the more likely you are to step out of a long-term relationship. All of those things are true, and that's probably due to this pair bonding thing. So, why would a man want to trust a sex worker to be a wife?
Maybe he has also been a part of the industry and understands. And also, there are men who make allowances or grace for women and their past. There are men out there, and it's not a subpar choice. It is just a personal choice. And as far as pair bonding goes, I believe that it is up to the woman and her own intuition and her own body and her own ability to connect with oneself when it comes to connecting with another partner. Is you have to know yourself. You have to know deep down, like you can get all scientific, you can bring me statistics, but all it boils down to is the woman's self-awareness and
you say
the connection that she
scientifical?
has with herself. I don't care. Don't grammar police me. I'm just making a point here.
You can know yourself.
Well, I was just curious. As we get into more of the scientifical data here, if we can maybe back up just a little bit.
Okay, yes.
And we can look at this objectively. If your son came to you and said, "Mom, I'm going to marry a sex worker," what would your advice to him be? Follow your dreams, my son?
My advice to my son, if he wanted to pursue a sex worker, was, does she have an exit plan? What is y'all's long-term goals? Do you support this? And if not, what is that trajectory going to look like? It's all circumstantial, and there's no just like copy and paste answer to this. It's about what one another's motives are, and if it's not a good fit, then it's not a good fit, and it's not going to be beneficial or healthy for everyone.
Now, let's say he came home with Betty Sue, and he loved Betty Sue, and Betty Sue had no sexual partners, and she was just head over heels for him, and so was a sex worker at the same time, and their sex looked about the same to you. Which one would you recommend your boy go with?
Whatever he feels, or
Yeah,
whichever.
No, what would you recommend? Not
Me
what you know.
personally,
I
I
know
would
we already
want-
know his feelings. He can't decide. Mom, what should I do, Mom?
Okay.
Should I go with the prostitute or with Betty Sue? Which one would you tell him?
I would look at either girl's ambition and what they want to do with their life, because Betty Sue can be a leech, and that
Yeah,
or whoever it is can be
They both want to be
self-sufficient and want to add
veterinarians.
value.
They both
So
want to be
whoever's going
veterinarians. They
add
both have about the
value.
same IQ, and they both have about the same resources to go to veterinarian school. If you had to choose, which one would you tell your boy he should go with?
Whoever's going to add the most value to his life, and if the prostitute or whoever it is can give him more life advice or more knowledge that's going to help him in the long term, then so be it.
And which one would you just intuitively say, without looking at any scientific data at all, if your boy asked you, which one do you think will be more loyal to me? Which one would you think you would tell him would be more loyal, that was more likely to be more loyal to him?
I believe it's all about their own personal choice to commit. So, yeah, I mean, you can look at someone's past behavior, you can look at all of that, but it's about the commitment and the now and the choice that they're making. So Betty Sue may have not been with anyone else, and that might motivate her to pursue other options, as opposed to the prostitute who has been with several people and knows what else is out there, knows that my son is a good man, and that she is winning the lottery because she has experienced all of these other things.
But sexual experience means nothing in the dating world, because if your son, hypothetical son, is going to a relationship with a sex worker, which both of you are.
The Bronasons donated $100. Left to right, Morgan wife 8, Purple Jacket 3 not a wife, Already a wife, Angry A Cups 4 and not a wife, Kmart Cardi B 4, Queen of Australia 6 wife, Bunny Ranch Thought 4, Leche Bags 3 not a wife.
Yo, this guy's gunning for me.
Man.
Oh,
This guy is gunning for me,
we
bro.
have one more coming through, and then Morgan will finish with her question there. Thank you, KDF. Thank you, the Renaissance. Oh, so the guys before me weren't good enough for you to settle down with, but they still got to F. Now I'm the man of your dreams, but I don't even get what the bums got. Make it make sense. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's going back to what I was talking about before. So women will, like, it's just funny with that, like, they'll give the sexual benefit to these, you'll say they're boys, they were jerks, assholes, not deserving of it. And then the guy who is actually deserving of it, he's the good guy, whatever, he's the one who gets to wait. Men are waking up to this and seeing that's kind of a raw deal. And yeah.
Can I just make this last point real quick? I'm almost done.
Okay, and then we'll have
I'm just
Morgan
curious, curious on this, just back to you real quick. How would you feel if you hadn't eaten breakfast this morning?
For me?
Yes, you.
Oh, I mean, I had breakfast.
Okay, I thought you did. Thank you.
Was that a jab? What was the point of that question?
Nickelodeon donated $100. She would tell him neither, because her degenerate ass will be desperate to keep the only man in her life to herself.
She would tell me there because her
As if, like, my hypothetical.
yeah. Andrew, do you want to explain that really quick?
Yeah, so this question, and it's more of a meme. It doesn't really have any scientific foundation at all, but it is kind of funny. If you ask a person what they had for breakfast this morning, you're engaging, or how would they feel if they hadn't had breakfast this morning? What you're doing is you're engaging in a hypothetical, and you're trying to examine what they think they would feel like had they not eaten breakfast. But there's many people who can't engage in hypotheticals, and so they just respond with, but I did have breakfast this morning. And so that's the point of the question.
Interesting. Interesting. Morgan, you had a question.
And you, just to be clear, you did have breakfast this morning.
I don't understand. Okay, all I hear is breakfast right now, so let's keep it rolling.
Okay.
Till next time, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe.